What's up, everybody? Today is day 27 of learning Spanish consecutively, consistently, straightforwardly. I'm not stopping. I'm simply not stopping every single fucking day, guys. And when I miss a day, I just do double the work the next day so I make up for it. So, I just finished yesterday, after I made the video yesterday, another two more stories of Spanish writings to make up for the days that I missed when I was working. And fuck yeah. So I'm gonna write another story today just after this video. But I got a comment fucking ages ago, and he was asking me what is something that is difficult that you find about learning Spanish so far. From your opinion, like what have you found? And at the time, I couldn't answer it correctly because I simply had not enough experience within the writing process to come up with something that I found extraordinarily difficult. However, I notice and I searched it up just to make sure that I'm not completely delusional. And I was aware of the concept beforehand, but I didn't really understand it. But now I do get it. So when I'm writing the stories, I'm noticing similarities in the words, pretty much, particularly the verbs, but they're different. And I'm wondering now why they differ. And I figured it out basically. I searched it up just to make sure I'm not fucking retarded. So pretty much, you have your tenses. So your past, present, future with the verbs, which is very similar to English. Lovely, easy. But then you've also got which perspective it comes from. So whether she wants something, you want something, she's jumping, I'm jumping, he's doing this, they're doing that. So that changes the verb as well as the tenses. So there's a bunch of little variables and a bunch of different, what would you call it? Yeah, it's like a little puzzle, a little Rubik's Cube. It's got a bunch of different sort of, variables. Conjugations is what they call them. So verb conjugations is what I searched up, and I would have to admit that that's pretty fucking difficult for me. It's pretty hard. I have no idea when to use what and what it even looks like, really. So I understand the benefit of why you might look at the rules and be like, oh, yep, verb conjugations, this one means that, this one means that. But what I'm going to do, not because I'm lazy, but because I understand how I think language is acquired, the language acquisition process over a period of time sort of works, and that I'm not going to really dive deep into when I should use what conjugation in what really circumstance. Maybe not yet anyway. Might be useful in the future. I don't think so yet. I'm just going to continue writing the stories and just be aware. Just be aware. Just using my brain and understanding that, oh, okay, I use that verb conjugation in this circumstance and I use this one in that circumstance. And I just want to get used to the fact that, that's the way it is. And I'll learn the reason why these things occur as time evolves, because you need massive input for you to create the connections. And I feel like that's going to be the most useful way, the most productive way of doing things. That's going to, I don't know, it'll work in the long term, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure anyway. But if I'm really, really finding trouble with it, then I might do a little bit of extra research. But we'll see how we go. But, I mean, the fact that I have noticed it in the first place after all this time, now, perhaps it took us much too long to notice, but the fact that I've noticed it means that I think my method is working to some degree. The repeated repetition has allowed me to identify an issue. So that's a good sign. I actually think that's a good sign. It certainly hasn't taught me how to solve it quite yet, but at least I know where the problems lie. And that's a big part of writing the same repetitive, boring sort of stories every single fucking day. They're not exactly the same, they're different, but you get the point I'm trying to make. They include a lot of the same words, a lot of the simple words, stuff like that. All right. So now that we've got that off my fucking chest, what is there to discuss? I don't know really what to discuss. I am finding it fun doing this journey. I enjoy it a lot. Sorry, I heard something outside. I enjoy it a lot. I listen to a lot of Spanish music. I want to be able to put myself in a circumstance where I can sort of start creating relationships, start creating friends, Latino friends, or some sort of Hispanic community, or something like that in due time. I know now that my skills are so underdeveloped, still even at this stage, at day 27, that I could dabble in that environment, but I don't really think that going out my way to make those sort of friendships is going to be that necessarily beneficial at this time. I think I have to wait until my Spanish is a little bit better, And so they don't think that I'm such a hassle to be around. And so we're sort of mutually benefiting a little bit more in that circumstance. But the reason why I mention that as an ideal outcome is because once you get there, once you get friends, and once you start a community and stuff, you've incorporated it into your lifestyle, then you don't have to do all this bullshit fucking study. You don't have to sit here writing fucking words and shit. You know, you can just talk to your friend, or you can just listen to a movie or stuff like that, and that's going to reinforce your learning. But we were at the beginning stages, guys. You know, we're at the beginning stages still. It's day 27. You know, which is further than I was getting before in terms of my consistency. Now that I've started making the videos, so, but yeah, we're still in the early stages, and we're all about accumulating the vocabulary, which is a very, very big part of it at this stage. Accumulating grammatical patterns, perhaps. And we're pretty much, what we're going to do is we're going to get to story 60. Yeah, story 60. So I'm up to story 21. So we've got a little bit of a long motherfucking road to go. So that's going to take maybe even, 2 more months even. So, fuck, if you guys are waiting for me to start speaking, then you guys better find something else to do, mainly. I'm not telling you guys to fuck off. I'm saying that I'm not going to be able to be well articulate for a very long period of time. But this is the realistic journey of it all, guys. This is no bullshit journey. I'm not here because what I could do is I could like memorize phrases and shit of fucking Google Translate and try to repeat them to you guys to look impressive as if there's some sort of thing. But there's no benefit to that. I'm not here to lie to everybody and say that I'm better than I am. Also, this actually brings me to another point. I'm not sure if you're in the language learning space and you've seen a couple of videos of people online speaking on Omegle or those stranger online video camera websites, and they matchmake with random people, and they try to impress them using their Japanese, white boy speaks Chinese or some shit like that. I want you guys to know right now that there are very, very, very few of those people who are actually real. Most of those people are completely clout chasing, and what they're doing is they're literally memorizing the pronunciation of a few particular phrases, and then they're whipping it out in front of a stranger, getting a little quick dopamine. They're snipping that, cutting it up, editing it all out, and putting it out to the internet. Okay, these people cannot speak the fucking language that they purportedly can speak. They cannot do it. They cannot. They are fucking useless. These are people who are dopamine chasers. Okay? Short-term gratification is at the heart of their soul for these people. Okay? They don't actually know, they actually haven't gone through the process of learning a language, which is the value that I'm showing you guys. This is what I'm actually going through the whole thing. I mean, if you were to actually have a conversation with those people who try to impress people online about their language skills, I doubt they could actually hold it together in various topics, in various circumstances. So these people are limiting their speech and confining it to a particular area that they're knowledgeable about, or perhaps that they've, done a little bit of research, and they're snipping it up and cutting it and making you believe that they can speak languages when they can't, and then they're getting a reaction off the internet, and then they're getting a million likes, and then it fuels their ego, and then they do it again, and then they go home and they cry at night because they realize they still can't speak Chinese. So, anyway, don't fall for that, and don't also let that discourage you, because these people, bro, it does not take a month to learn a fucking language, guys. I'm coming up to a month, I can barely say a word. Okay, this is the reality of it. Okay, however, even though I can't really say much, I can identify plenty of new words. I identify them all the time. In fact, there's plenty of times where I'm writing a sentence, I know all the words in the sentence now. Before I was writing, I didn't know anything. I was just, what are these random words? What the fuck? Now, these words keep coming up more and more and more. Now that I keep writing down. And now I'm so familiar with them, I can write a whole sentence in Spanish, no problem. I know the meaning. Easy. So my identification of vocabulary, that skill is growing very, very quickly. And it's getting a lot better every single day. So that's what the progress is, I'm not going to be out here start having in-depth conversations about the current state of political affairs in Nicaragua. You know what I mean? I'm not really at that level. But anyways, that's all I got to say, guys. That is all I got to fucking say. So have a good night, guys. Continue on with your journeys, and I appreciate everybody who comments and stuff like that. I really do, and you don't have to, by the way. This is not some sort of, I'm not trying to convince you to do anything, but I just really appreciate people who have invested their time and effort to like or comment or any of that. It's very kind of them, and you don't have to do it at all. So I really appreciate it. All right, see you guys.